Hello, my dear church boys, and welcome to St. Robert's Day Game Pickup Podcast episode number 46. I have been lucky enough to do very interesting interviews. I've done an interview with a girl who was a scam girl and later became a sugar baby, traveled the world with the help of seeking arrangement and lovely gentlemen from all over the world. I've interviewed a guy who used to be a cocaine dealer, wholesaling cocaine. Then he spent some time in jail, and those stories have been amazing. But this time, something amazing happened, and I met an amazing girl that I did an incredible interview with. I was in Hungary, Budapest, to coach a student for a few days to check out the city and to kind of figure out whether I want to go back and spend more time there. And one of the evenings, I went out for a walk and I saw this cute, innocent looking, kind of shy looking girl sitting on a bench reading a book. She looked kind of like a cute, geeky, nice girl. I loved the look. And as I was going back the same street, I saw she was still there, and I decided I have to go and say hi. Maybe she's just as interesting as she looks. And as I started the conversation, we really hit it up well. And 5-10 minutes into the conversation, it turns out she manages a porn agency. Since I didn't have any plans for the night and she seemed to be free as well, I suggested to go for a drink. We went for a drink to a lovely bar I like and really had a great evening, really had a great time. But we realized that we are very different people. I'm this kind of crazy traveling type of guy, and she actually turned out to be pretty much a nice, good girl who doesn't do too many crazy things. So we ended up friend-zoning each other, but I decided since she is in such an interesting field and knows so much about it, it would be a shame not to interview her for St. Robert's podcast. And that is what we did. We sat down with a coffee and had an amazing conversation about the porn industry, the types of people that work in the industry, how it's not as stereotypical as people assume, that it's very different people. And we spoke about how to get in the industry, both for female and for male talents. So guys, if you're listening and you want to get in the porn industry, then she actually tells you how you can do that. We spoke both about the fake part of the industry, so what's fake in porn, and also what's beautiful, what's the reality, and what are the nice things in the field. Honestly, I was just really intrigued to chat with someone who's so deep in porn, and just to ask all the questions that I had in mind. I really hope you enjoyed this episode just as much as I did. Before we get into it, a few announcements. First of all, you know that I do this podcast once a week, maybe once in 2 weeks, depending on how busy I am with in-field and Skype coaching. And if there is anything else I want to share with my audience, with my followers, and usually there is, then I share that either by sending it to my mailing list or by sharing it in our Telegram Day Game Church group chat. So if you don't want to miss all the good stuff that I give my followers, then make sure you are either on a mailing list or in the group chat. You can join both by going to my website, strobert.blog, that is strobert.blog, and signing up for the mailing list. In the welcome email, you will also get a link for joining the Telegram Day Game Church group chat. And the second thing is, after going to Budapest, well, my idea for going to Budapest was to understand how good that city is for learning day game and for day gaming. And I realized that if someone is just starting out in day game and learning on their own, then there are way easier cities in Europe, for example, Prague, that everyone knows about. And if you're just starting out and want to learn day game on your own, first of all, I suggest you do it in your city. But if you want to do a trip and learn it abroad, then do Prague. But I realized if your game is good, let's say if you have at least 10 day game lays, then maybe Budapest is worth a try, but it's definitely a great city for day game coaching. because there is a lot of talent. There are many beautiful girls, exactly the type I like, very tiny with very nice shapes. Boobs, asses, everything I like. It's a cheap city, it's beautiful, there's tons of stuff to do outside of day games, so I will go back to Budapest with two to three students. I'll go back there in a few weeks, probably mid to late August, and I will stay there for a month. I will either take three-day students or two 5-day students. I'll be sending out more information about it starting the next Monday, but if you already know you are interested in going to Budapest and learning day game with me, then send me an email as soon as possible before I make it public in the website and in the mailing list, etc. As you've heard in the previous podcasts, I started doing a really simple thing. If you wanna make sure that doing in-field day game coaching with me is the best thing for you, is the right thing for you, what you can do is you can sign up for a Skype coaching call. We can do a Skype coaching call, and if after the Skype coaching call you realize that doing live in-field coaching is the best idea for you, then when you sign up for the in-field coaching, the €100 you paid for the Skype coaching call will be used as a partial prepayment for the in-field coaching. So if you want to do that, just send me an email to robert@strobert.blog. That is robert@strobert.blog, or send me a message on Telegram. With all of this being said, let's get down to the amazing conversation with the beautiful girl I met in Budapest. Boom, that's a good start. Okay, hi. So guys, we're sitting here with, I'm not even gonna say, like, who are you? What's your title or whatever?
Well, I call it porn manager. People call it in different ways. But yeah, I would say
Porn manager.
yes.
What does a porn? Because I could actually not figure out what it is that you do. Do you manage? Is it like an agency where you're like a managing talent, or you're managing? I don't know. What is this?
Well, yes, I manage performers and basically the agency, because it's not just about people. It's also about the payments and traveling and everything. So all the aspects that go into the shooting.
But is shooting part of the agency, or those are different companies that do that?
No, there are production companies that shoot films, and there are agencies who help them find suitable performers.
Okay, so you work with the performers.
Yes.
Your agency does the performers, and there are different production companies that do all the shooting and.
Yes.
Okay, so you basically put together people that will fuck and will be fucked.
Kinda.
You get them from different locations into one location.
Well, if you simplify that, yes.
Okay, so let's start with. I think that the talents are probably, is talents the right word to use, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. So I assume talents are very, very different people, and society thinks about people in the industry, I assume, very stereotypically. There are probably a few stereotypes that is, oh, you're important, so you're like this or you're like that. So what I actually want to do today, part of the thing is I want to talk about how there are probably, maybe, different people in the industry, different types of people, and I want to know whether that's true or not. I want to talk about the reality of porn. I guess what is the one thing is what we see on a screen, and the other thing is what's actually happening there. You told me a lot of things that are fake in porn, so I am very interested in talking more about that. Okay. But I also want to talk about things that it reminds me of New York subway when you walk. Like there is a mist like that coming from subway.
It reminds me of some TV sets, and
Yeah.
now it's gonna be like two guys fighting, like somewhere from the corner. So.
Someone will appear.
Yes, appear
like,
from the mist.
Nice.
It's cool. I like it.
I think it's because of the hot weather.
Yeah.
Probably they're either cooling something off that's underneath the ground, or cooling us off.
Just for people.
For us.
Well. For us as well.
It's blowing in the wrong direction. But
yes.
before we start this conversation, let me ask you, when we met,
Hmm.
Can I tell you? Can I tell how we met?
Yeah, sure.
So I was, guys, I was obviously going out and doing my day game session, and I saw this lovely, beautiful girl sitting and reading book very geekily. She looked like a proper geek. Like if you saw a Harry Potter movie, what was the main character there?
Harry Potter,
No,
but
no, the chick that I told you.
Hermione Granger.
Yeah, so you look like her, and I thought I have to talk to her. She looks so cute and so innocent, and that's how we met. And as soon as you told me what do you do, like you kind of started talking about that a lot, and I tried to change the subject of the conversation several times because I assume that you're tired of talking about your job sometimes with people that find out what you do, because I know I am. When people find out that I teach guys dating and how to be more interesting guys, etc., I'm just bored from those conversations. So what are like three questions you are most tired of hearing when you talk about people about your job?
Honestly, they usually ask very general things because they don't really know the details. So the first one is, "What's your job?" that's the
The first one
question.
that I asked
Yes,
you,
it's
what's your
just the
job?
first one. Yeah, because you can't just because then I say I am a porn manager, and then they ask, "Yeah, what's that?" So there is like there is no way to cut it short. You always have to ramble about some stuff, and yeah. So I can't really give you three questions because this one it kind of contains all of it.
Okay. The way I see your job, it's kind of for me. I think it's maybe I'm getting wrong impression, but for me, I think it's easy to explain. You basically make sure that people show up. You find the right people for the job. You make sure everything concerning the travel and legal stuff is fine, and the payments and all of that stuff. That's kind of your business. That's what you
Yes.
do. Um, and what are some of the most interesting questions people have asked you about your job that you have been surprised to hear?
Hmm. I don't know. There are questions about gay porn, for example, which are not very often, but like some people are interested, like whether it's the same as with girls, like how it happens, where do they live, or like how you can find these people who would be willing to start, because it's like the most interesting part. It's one thing to work with people who are already in the industry and you already know their names, you can actually Google them up. But of course, productions are interested in new people, like new faces, fresh blood. So I guess the most interesting question is how do you get people into porn? Like,
That is one of my questions that I had
of
written down.
course, of
So
course it is.
let's go there. Let's go there. First of all, I assume there are different ways people get in the industry. Maybe you're looking for someone, you have ways to recruit people. Maybe there are people who want to get in the industry and are working hard to get in there. I assume there are different routes that lead to becoming talent in the industry. So, what are some of the ways you get new people, or yeah?
Okay, so given that the agency I work for, it already has a reputation and a name, so we don't really have to, try too hard because people apply by themselves. They text us on Twitter, on Insta, they apply on the website, they
So they send a
email.
dick pic and you say it's good enough, we hire you.
Yeah, so like I
Wait, for
check them
real?
up. Yeah, I check them up, and if I see that this person has some potential, then I can start talking. Like, and if I'm
Okay.
satisfied with the results of the conversation, then we invite them to come over, and we start working. The other way around is that there are people who don't think about porn. For instance, they do webcam or just maybe nude modeling, but you can see that, hey, this is going to be a profitable project. Like, this person can really earn a lot. There's a potential for an actual career, like not just a couple shootings. And that's when you are trying to get in touch with them yourself. So, and that's how you kind of negotiate the
You're gonna
conditions and
headhunt.
everything. Not myself. If I did also that, I'd have like no time for sleep at all. No, there are scouts. There are
Okay.
scouts. But if the person is really important, my boss, she can do it, or she asks me. Like, she sends me the link or something. She says, "Hey, like, I think that this is gonna be interesting," and yeah, so I reach out to people myself.
So, let's get deeper in this topic and let's talk about guys and girls separately. How does So you said people apply and you don't really have to look for them, and then if they meet all the right criteria, you might start to work with them. What are the criteria girls have to have in order for you to start working with them?
Well, to be honest, it differs a lot from agency to agency, and
In
also
your case,
yeah. Okay, so in Europe, in my agency, the kind of talents we have, um, they are girls from 18, obviously, mostly to 30, cute, no fake breasts, no tattoos, no surgery, like noses and stuff. So they just have to be beautiful. Also English. Some of them, okay, like to be totally honest, a lot of them they don't speak proper English, which is a big problem because the prettiest girls they come from Russia, from Ukraine, and these are countries where people don't usually, learn English that well. But in order to shoot in quality movies, there's always comedy, there's always a story, so you have to handle the conversation and stuff. And if you're pretty, if you're all natural, if you have English, if your age, is okay, and if you're listening to the quiet advice of your agent who knows best, like which offer to accept, which one to decline, where to go, how to take the right step, then there's a chance to actually have a career, because a lot of girls, a lot of talents, they end up being out of the industry in 1 year, maybe 2 years, because they did a number of bad choices and they are not interesting anymore to production
number of
companies.
bad choices. Can you give some examples? That sounds
Of course.
interesting.
For instance, one day, okay, so the girl is new, yeah, she earns her first money, and it's like a lot, and she's like, oh, okay.
Can we talk numbers?
No.
Okay. No.
No. And she's like, okay, so what am I gonna do about it? And they start wasting money on drugs. That's number one. Then on, for instance, fake breasts and other things that they think are good, but in fact it's a terrible choice. Or they shoot for wrong productions that damage their professional reputation, or because of drugs or because of some other reasons they start acting cranky, and the professional behavior on set it's really important. It's not just about how you are being like appreciated by the audience. It's also about how you work with people, how you actually do business. And if you are impossible to work with, no, like people just would. It's not worth the trouble. Sometimes it is. If you're like a really like if you're a top star, of course they will put up with it. But
they will milk you.
Huh?
They will milk you for as long as possible.
Yeah,
like manage you as a spoiled kid.
Sort of, yes. But like if you're just acting bitchy,
you're probably gonna be out in a year or two.
Yeah.
Does it matter what they are fine or not fine doing during a shoot? So what do they have to do?
Nothing. It's not about have to. There's no such word as have to. So when they apply, that's one of the first things I discuss is their boundaries. I have a very, very detailed application that they have to fill out, and I know exactly what they do, what they don't do, how much we charge for this, for that. And if I receive an offer which is kind of outside this list, I always talk to the talent, and we either agree on it and like we charge extra, or the offer is declined.
Are there some things that are highly suggested that they are fine with?
Oh yes, of course. Like there are girls who only want to do girl and solo scenes, which can be fine. I mean, yes, you will get some offers, but you have to be really, really cute for that, like really cute. And plus, you will never earn as much as you can if you do boy-girl. So my suggestion is if there is this person who wants to get into the porn industry, you can start with solo and girl, but at the same time you have to shoot boy-girl for top company, just one, just to gain the reputation, just to have this kind of
momentum.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to shoot with all the production companies. Like you can choose, but it's highly advised to actually do boy-girl, because if it's just lesbian, it will never be as good as.
It will not be mainstream.
Yes, it won't be.
Okay.
It might be cool for webcam, you know, for like OnlyFans and this kind of stuff. It can work out fine. But if we're talking classic porn, no, that's not the way to go.
Okay. Um, Anything else that's highly suggested they're fine with, knowing that it's boy girl?
To be honest, no. You know, the best performers are the ones who have personalities, who are the distinctive. They have charisma. They actually have something behind. You know, just the scene itself. Plus, yes, they are great actresses. Like they act well. So there's nothing that you can do. Like okay, like you have to do this and this and this. It's like the old school approach when there was a list of things. Like okay, so you have to moan here, close your eyes here, and like now it's not like that. There's such a variety of productions and people have so different tastes in what they want to watch. You have to just be yourself, and if you have it inside you, it will show. You will become popular. And if you're not suitable for this job, there's not that much you can do because if you're a bad actress,
Yeah.
you just bad. You're bad.
Okay. What about guys? What's the entry What are the entry requirements for male talent?
With male talents, it's completely different. Personally, I handle like it. Okay, I can say that I don't handle male talents just because in the industry there is this number of guys that people know are good. They treat girls well. They know their job. They can perform. Because again, for guys, it's very complicated. Like they have to inject, and they have to take pills, and it's it's kind of bad for your health. Plus, you really need to. I mean, like 5 days a week, 6 hours a day, right?
No, fuck that.
Exactly.
I
So
would
not
hate it.
not every guy. Plus, you need to have quite a dick, because if your dick is like okay, 17 or like nobody wants that. Like it has to be 20 plus, because if it's less, it's like no, whatever.
Seen that, yeah.
Yeah. So you really need to possess some
Yeah.
some kind of stuff to actually get into. Of course, we receive a lot of applications from just random guys. They send me their selfies with their dicks out, and like the videos where they just masturbate or home videos. I'm not interested in that. That's not what I want to see. I can accept a male talent to the agency if he already has at least some experience of working with a professional production company. Not too much, at least like 2 scenes, just something, so I could see how he actually performs.
So with female, it's one thing. With male, they kind of have to get their name out. They kind of, not the name out, but they kind of have to get some experience on their own, and then they can start thinking about
There is no
working with agency.
strong need in male talents, but there is always a strong need in fresh female faces.
Okay. How long? So you said most girls are out within 1 or 2 years.
Not most, like the ones who are kind of too cocky to actually choose one agency and follow, the line. Yes, they usually end up on the outskirts.
Oh, is that because they're gonna go from one agency and they want to get other deal from another and another and another or something like that?
Yeah, kind of, because they think that if they are signed up with more agencies, they will get more jobs. But what they can't understand is that there's only that much production companies. I'm sorry, that many production companies.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't matter how you get there, but what's important is the choices you make. Which ones out of all the production companies you choose to work with, and which scenes you do.
Why do the girls that want to be in the industry, why do they join? Why do they start doing it? And again, there probably are different reasons.
Yeah, there are different reasons, but there are common ones. Uh, well, usually they're kind of feministic, so it's like they're trying to prove that yes, I'm a woman and that's what I want to do, and you will respect that. So that's number one message. There are also female talents who are just so hooked up on sex. They love it. They love the job. They love that they have the audience. They love their fans. And yeah, so they basically want to be stars. They want a career in porn. So that's number two. There is also number three, people who, for instance, used to or still do escort, and they need more private clients. and that's how they gain the reputation to get more private clients for escort. Uh, it's like the three top ones, like the common ones, the easy ones to know. Of course, there are also people who had terrible life experience, like they were raped, or they have sexual issues, or they are asexual at all. There are many things, so you'll never know.
How does an asexual person become a porn talent? What the hell? I can't understand that. Like, if you are asexual, it means you don't care about sex at all.
Exactly.
So why do they get
Because
into?
it's
Because they don't give a fuck about it.
yeah,
It's like brushing floor. It's like cleaning a floor for them. It's like,
yes, exactly, and they get paid well for that, and they don't care, basically.
do they do it for money or?
Yes, of course.
Okay, because you didn't mention money as one of the reasons people join the industry. I was
Is it
surprised.
obvious? No.
No, that's why I asked.
Oh.
I think that's a stereotype, and that's why I wanted to ask you: oh, is it money or is it different things?
No, it is believed to be easy money. So.
Okay. When it comes to money, again, we're not talking numbers, but so recently, OnlyFans started becoming more and more popular, and really young people started joining there, and some big names joined it. How does it affect the industry?
Well, it's two different things. The majority of porn stars, they have their private personal profiles. For instance, it could be OnlyFans. It's like a passive income, I would say. It's not that passive because
Of course.
you still have to, get out there. But yeah, because for instance, when there was quarantine because of the coronavirus, you can't shoot, you
Yeah.
can't perform, and yet you still need the income, and that's your profession, let's say. So when you have your OnlyFans, it will still feed you. You can still, because you don't need anybody else to help you do it. So it's a good thing. And at my agency, we recommend all female talents to actually invest their time into this kind of stuff, because
Also, you're actually supporting them being there and getting their name out.
not all agencies do that. We do. We actually teach them. We have a person who teaches them how to make it profitable, how to do it well. Because
Damn.
again, different agencies have different approaches. We are trying to do the best we can for our performers, whether it's the shootings, whether it's just support. Because, for instance, we often give them money when they don't have it, because we know that, hey, this is our performer, like she needs some support now. So that's what we do. We cater for their daily issues, like, hey, I want to dye my hair, I don't know where, so you're looking for a fucking hairdresser,
You do things like that. You have to do that.
I don't have to, but I mean, we are kind of friendly. It's not just business relations. When you spend this much time with people, it kind of becomes personal. So if the person is reaching out to me saying like, hey, I broke my nail, like I really need to do something, can you please help me? And she's from another country, she doesn't know where to do it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, so I'm kind of looking for what she needs, and yeah, that's how I get it.
Okay. So OnlyFans is a nice thing for you. That's interesting. I was
Yeah.
surprised about that. I expected it to like kind of disrupt the industry. But if you think about it, I think OnlyFans gained their popularity right during the quarantine. That's
Yes,
kind of when it
exactly.
blew up.
Yes.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
It does damage the industry, but in a very indirect way, because not all people want to watch homemade stuff. Like,
Yeah, like-
really, not all people. But for the production company to shoot the videos to show to the audience, they do need some good performers. And at some point, performer realizes that, hey, I don't need to do this anymore. I can just stay home, shoot one video per week, and be okay. So that's the main damage to the industry. But again, there are always enough people, enough applicants who want to do classic movies, because it's a very different quality you get from what you shoot home and what's happening on set, especially if the production is good.
Okay. So you have new girls joining, getting their first money, and some of them fuck up their lives by drugs and plastic surgery and other things. And you have what other kind of HR type of problems you have in the industry? What are not the problems, but what are the biggest challenges when managing talent?
For me as a manager,
Sure.
well, I would say
No,
that
you're gonna cry. Don't cry.
I'll try not to. Okay, it's complicated because of the amount of work, because it doesn't sound complicated, but if you imagine even managing 10 people at the same time, it's it's just a pain. It's a pain, like constantly, and you can never relax because you never know what can happen. Because basically, I am like their sister, their friend, their mother, their manager, everything. So whatever happens, they reach out to me, and it's up to me to solve it. And it can be anything. So yeah, for me, first of all, it's the amount of time I spent on the job. It's really difficult to relax. For instance, I can't just turn off my phone, not even for a day. I just can't. It can't happen, never. Even if I'm out for like a couple hours, I have this weird feeling inside me, like, oh my god, I have to check it because something might have happened,
Yeah.
like, and I'm not taking care of it, and like, because if I don't, probably nobody will. I mean,
Yeah.
my boss sometimes she helps, but she has a lot on her plate as well. She has other duties. So yeah, for me that's the first one, and the second one, even when you do arrange everything, I can't watch over all people actually keeping up to what I planned for them. So I do my part, but I can never be completely sure that performers will do their part well. And of course, I can control it to some extent, but not fully. And sometimes, given that, quite often they tend to behave like big children, uh, they kind of need support and guidance, and they don't really handle responsibility well.
How
So,
come? How come? Why?
well,
Why are they like that?
that's the type of life they're living. It's just easy. They don't want to concern themselves with too many responsibility. Plus, that's why they have an agency and an agent.
To solve their
Yes,
small things.
so that they can just concentrate on their work, and yes, do not waste their attention on something menial, I would say.
So it kind of, when you said this to me, it sounds they are like little kids in a candy store who got money doing something they maybe enjoy doing, which is something we'll talk about later, and they have more money than they are used to, and they're a bit spoiled, and they assume you'll take care of everything. And
Well, not exactly. It really depends. I mean, people are different. There's always like a diva type of performer, and there's always just a next a girl next door. So you never know. People are very different. You have different approach to all of them, and the challenges of the industry are different for them, just because they tend to, live different lives. Like some people support their families, some people pay for their studies, some people just want to open, for instance, their own business, like to launch some campaign or something. It's very different.
why would they start their own business if they can keep performing?
They can't keep
They want
performing.
to quit.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. I
okay.
mean, so it's not like the destination; it's just a tool they're using to earn money, and then they want to spend it on something they
Oh,
really
so
want.
how, if you had to just assume and guess from the talents you know, what's the percentage that for them it's the thing they love doing and they want to keep doing, and what's the percentage that are just using this as a tool to make money and then do something else?
Okay, so almost all of them. I mean, nobody thinks that they will do porn when they're like 50.
What?
Of course not. Like they, in the majority of cases, they all want families and children, and a normal life, like a house, a fucking dog, and everything. So I would say 90% they don't think about it as something permanent. It's just something they do today, and tomorrow we'll see.
Okay, so about the relationships, that's a tiny topic I want to talk about. I know that I don't know, from what I've heard, many people in the industry are in a relationship with other people from the industry.
Yes.
How many people are in relationships with regular vanilla people?
Well,
And let's divide it like how many guys and how many girls, because I think it's kind of different.
I don't really know much about guys.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you don't work with guys.
No, I mean, I know them personally, but again, they don't usually date. I mean, they are not fans of serious relationships, if you know what I mean,
What?
right? Yeah, I mean,
What?
newsflash. But there are
I
some
am
of
actually
them.
surprised.
No,
Because
but
like,
some-
pussy gets boring at one point.
some of them are actually married, but these are old school guys. They have families, they have wives, usually wives used to be performers themselves. So people rarely handle relationships with people outside the industry, you know, because like it's really difficult to find a person who would be okay, for instance, with her boyfriend or her girlfriend, you know, doing what, like, you have to be either extremely careless or like so confident or just a little fucked up, because normally people, they don't like it. But people who are also in the industry, they understand how it works. They don't really care, because to them it's just a job. So
Yeah.
yes, there are a lot of people in the industry who have relationships like for years, and who like live together, and you know, they're partners.
Okay. And what about sex on the camera? Um,
Hmm.
do people do talents? So there is one thing you see on a video, which is everyone enjoying what they're doing,
Hmm.
and then there's the reality. What's the reality of their love towards sex? Them enjoying what they're doing. I assume it's probably different, and 5 days a week, 6 hours a day can get tiring. But what it's all like in reality?
Okay, so it's like I said, in my agency, before the very start, we settle on what this performer does and what she doesn't do. So whatever the offer is, it's fine. But yeah, sometimes it can be too much. Plus, sometimes there are exceptions. For instance, anal scenes. Like a girl doesn't do anal.
6
but
hours in a row.
No, kind of. It's never. Okay. When I say 6 hours in a row, it doesn't mean that she is getting fucked for 6 hours. It's for everything. Like there's makeup, there are pictures, there is a retouch, there are breaks.
Oh, wait,
there's
so out of
scripts.
6 hour workday, how long is the scene?
That depends. Can
From
be three. Can be 3 hours. Sometimes it's very short. Can be 2 hours. Can be 5.
So 2 to 5 hours. I'm not talking like we're not on average.
Generally,
like,
yes.
Generally
Like generally,
speaking,
yeah. I would say so.
like a ballpark number. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So what is the reality of
Yeah,
people enjoying or not
so
enjoying it?
about anal scenes, for example, like the girl doesn't enjoy anal sex, she doesn't do it normally, but if the offer is good, which means they pay well, she can do it, and yes, she will act well and it will look good, but she doesn't like it, she just did it because she can, and she is being paid for it well. So that's it, like it's like a compromise.
Okay. You remember I told you this city has a lot of tiny, good-shaped chicks, and you said you don't see many?
Yeah.
That one on the right, you see? Very tiny, very cute, around 18.
You think she's cute?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what's up with your taste?
Fuck the shit out of her.
Seriously?
Yep.
Okay, now I feel sorry that you kind of like my appearance, because if you like this...
No, I like two different types. It's either one is well, typically one is like the short, tiny.
I mean, she's gray, like literally flavorless.
She has tits.
She's like, I'm sorry, a hole in the flesh. I mean, she has nothing specific about her face. No,
I saw her standing up. I liked how she looked when she was up. It's like very petite.
and that's all you need, right?
I like petite. No, that's from the looks. No, it all starts from the looks. It starts with petite. You are petite. That's why I came up and said hi. But you look kind of shy and geeky, like a good church girl. She's
Well,
not. She's not.
okay.
Anyways, so it's very different. So on average, when it's not something a girl doesn't like,
Yeah.
are they enjoying the scenes mostly, or like,
Yes, the majority of them are.
so it's like just like fucking but on camera?
Well, no, it's performing on camera, but that doesn't mean they don't enjoy it.
Okay. What about guys?
Oh, girls love the job.
Sorry,
Guys love the job.
guys love the job.
Oh, mostly, yes. I mean, up until the point when they have to,
Inject.
yes, take care of, their dicks being hard. Then they start liking it a little less, but still, yeah, they like it. Because, I mean, it's cool to realize that, hey, I'm that guy. So.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm surprised to find that out. Do you know anything about their sex life off camera? Do they enjoy sex just as much off the camera, or have they fucked so much that they don't care about it anymore?
That really depends on the tempo. There are female talents for whom it's totally enough like what they have on set is enough, and they don't need anything else. And there are female talents with such a huge sexual potential. Yeah, they have personal life and quite a busy one. They enjoy sex on the side, like generally, or it's like I said, they have their own boyfriends, you know, with whom they are obviously intimate. So yeah.
So it's basically a bunch of really, really horny people who
You
really,
could
really
say
enjoy
that.
sex.
You could say that, yes.
I could never have so much sex because sex bores me sometimes. I could never have so much sex. That's incredible.
Well, yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's really cool. So the stereotypes are kind of right about them. It's like they just really enjoy sex. They just like it.
Yeah, they love it.
That's amazing. So from what we see in porn, we see a lot of stuff. And what are the main fake things in porn?
Okay, well, first of all, like the whole scene is fake because you know.
It's not a pizza guy.
No, it's really
It's not a plumber.
It's not
Oh
a
my-
stepsister. It's not a stepsister.
No.
No fucking way.
Shit.
No. Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay. So.
That's like I can never watch that. Like I hate watching. It's like a sister. Like fuck you. I can't look at it and like think about. Like then I'm like that's fucked up.
Okay. Yeah.
Like how could that become one of the most popular genres in?
Actually,
porn?
incest is one of the most popular.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How? I don't get it.
I don't know, but it's in really high demand. Especially, for instance, like stepson and mother kind of pattern. That's the good one. Or like stepsister and I don't know, daddy, or stepsister and brother, or you know this kind of. So
But do they use the step thing just because of legal consequences that they might face?
No, that's fine. Okay, there are a lot of patterns that you just can't have in a foreign movie, which are illegal, but the title is not.
example?
Well, for example, most recently is, you know, Black Lives Matter kind of thing.
Okay.
So now you can't say I love your big black cock.
Fuck.
You can only say I love your cock.
Yeah, that's just.
It kind of loses it, right?
It's stupid.
Well,
Like,
that's how
that
it
is like I
So-
heard you cannot call. There's a cocktail Negroni that they have to change the name. What is that?
There's many things, starting with titles like that, you know, which are kind of insensitive, ending with the logos you can see on video, like Adidas or something. You can't have that. You can't have any big brands.
They will literally sue you.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
What if I have an Adidas logo tattooed on my dick? Is that fine?
No.
Because it's a tattoo and then you can't hire.
No, no, you just can't have it. Yeah.
Fuck.
I know, right?
Damn. What about music? Oh,
No.
there's not a lot of
They-
background music in porn though.
Okay, in
I don't know. I've
quality-
never watched, by the way.
In quality
I'm a
movies,
porn virgin.
there is music, but they are either pay the composer to create something just for them, or they legally buy the rights to use this music, because there are actually companies whose whole job is to specifically look for violations of such sorts in porn videos, and that's what they do. So negligence is not really good.
Okay. So what else is fake apart from?
Oh yeah, it's sperm. Quite often it's sperm. They use some kind of syrup, or there's also like just it's actually called fake sperm. Like you have this bottle of fake sperm.
So wait, can I go? Where do I buy? Where do I buy
Sex
some?
shops.
So
or-
I can go to a sex shop and buy fake sperm.
Yes,
fake
you
sperm.
can. You can, and actually you can buy it with different flavors too, like
Oh,
strawberry
damn.
or mint or something.
Why would you do that?
Because a guy can't come because he injected and he just can't come.
No, like I understand that, but like, why would you have flavors? Like
Well, because okay, there are again,
strawberry flavored.
there are
cum?
different videos. For instance, if it's cum in mouth, right?
Yeah.
You might as well add some flavor into it.
Wait, but so how do they do that? If it's like a captured video, so how do you what how what? Because like you can see whether a guy is coming or not, unless it's I don't know.
You can always like do this, put it
Okay.
in there, put it back, and then it's like you're coming.
Damn.
And sometimes there are just shots where they actually like squish it,
Yeah.
so you don't really see the dick.
Yeah.
You just like see, you know, the splash.
Oh damn.
The
It must
piece
be really
also.
hard to act in that moment. Like when you have to pretend it's real cum. Oh, but you're pretending to like it then. Like, I know, this is wrong.
It's just acting. It's just acting.
It's just acting. Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, what else is fake?
Boobs. A lot
Boobs.
of fake boobs.
You said you don't like fake boobs in the industry.
No, but it's in Europe. In the US, for instance, it's different. For instance, here we don't like fake things. We don't like tattoos. In the US, they don't care that much, for example. And there are productions who specifically shoot people with everything fake. Like the more fake things you have, the better. And there are productions that only shoot all natural. So if they see that your lips are not exactly, you know, yours, they will not accept you. They just won't shoot you. So yeah, this kind of stuff. Plus orgasms, squirts.
What? Fake orgasms? No way.
Well, yeah. No,
How do you fake an orgasm? How is that even possible?
imagine that.
Okay, squirting. Let's tell guys how do girls do fake squirting. I loved when you told that to me. It was so fucked up. I was like, no.
In the majority of cases, they just urinate. It's piss, guys. Guys, it's urine.
Nice. Yeah.
No high hopes there.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. So all that is made to gonna shoot the ideal scene that people would like, that they would enjoy watching, and that they would watch again and again, something that production did or does better. Are there any things that are being done, or rather, what else is being done to make a shoot more appealing or even more addictive to watch? Like, is there a science of how addictive this clip is going to be?
Well, yes. For example, the top productions, they have their own patterns, but again, it differs from production to production because they all have different audience. So what they shoot is being aimed at specifically their audience. I mean, there are charts, you can see the stats, you know what kind of video has more a rating than the other one. You know, like what kind of actress is more popular. So you just combine the top things together and you have the perfect video for this very production.
Can you give an example of how they make a porn video? How a certain production would make porn videos more addictive?
Well, I would say, I actually told you, they would choose the actress that has really high rates, which is in high demand generally.
Okay, that's actress, that's one thing.
That would be the actress.
The guys would be watching it because of the actress. Is there anything in the process of production or shooting that they do, or?
Well, again, there are production companies that, for instance, specify on like fetish kind of stuff. For instance, like food fetish, right? So, so they know if they add a little bit of it, they will get more volume, you know. So that's what they do. Plus, really top qualities, they actually have a set of positions, a set of like, it's all about how you place the camera. It's about the lights. It's about the atmosphere. For instance, there are companies that shoot long comedies or like just some funny stuff, you know, who actually make jokes. It's like a live conversation. So everything depends on the audience.
So there is no like big data and 20 geeks going over like, okay, if we put a bit more red here in the background, that's like totally, is like everyone's going to be so hooked that they can't stop watching.
No, there are generally accepted things and not accepted. Like, but again, it differs, for instance, from Europe to the US. There is no one recipe for success. Even if a female performer is not perfect from the point of view of a typical standard, sometimes they rise so high and you never know how or why, just because they do.
But they haven't done the kind of the research to put it all together and understand why she rose to the fame that she did. Okay.
Not really.
Okay, that's interesting. I expected there to be a lot of like small, tiny nuances that, like in Netflix, for example, they probably have like really tiny, small things they do in those series to make them more addictive, and so that people will spend more hours on Netflix. So.
Usually, what works is the fan base. So everything depends on how many fans you have, because it means that this many people will actually pay to watch the new video. This many people will actually follow you and, you know, be active. So whatever it takes, everything is aimed at the audience. That's why porn is like one of the greatest reflectors of society, because whatever you see there means that this is exactly what is in demand. This is what society wants to see.
Incest porn.
Yes.
And big black dicks. Cocks.
Whatever it is. I mean, if If they shoot it, it means it will be profitable. It means that people buy it, and it
Nice.
means that
I
that's what
love
people
it.
want to watch.
I fucking love it. It reflects the reality of how the society actually works instead of how we pretend to be, what we pretend to do, what we pretend to like.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
what
so
people truly want to see.
it just shows that we are filthy motherfuckers.
Well, not all porn is filthy, but yeah,
In a
some of
good
it.
way. In a good
Some of
way.
it
I
is.
don't mean it in a bad way. Like I don't feel there's anything bad. And come on, it's me.
Okay. I know you want that.
Yeah, but you kind of probably get the idea. What is real and beautiful important? There probably are things that are really nice,
Yeah,
really
sure.
amazing, really cool.
Sometimes there's just chemistry between two actors. They just click, and then sex is. It's like there's no camera. Like they just enjoy each other's company. They enjoy the acquaintance, let's say, and yeah, that's it. So that's the beautiful thing, because sometimes it's just two strangers, doing their jobs, but sometimes it clicks, and that's when the scene is like really passionate. You can see that actually. Like if you watch carefully, you can see the difference.
Yeah. What else is beautiful? What makes you like happy about the industry?
Well, I wouldn't say that the beauty is what makes me happy. I mean, the beauty of the industry. Obviously, there are some truly beautiful female talents in there, naturally beautiful.
Okay.
But that's like the obvious beauty, I would say. And I guess that for many people, it's just one of the ways to cure themselves. Like I said, there are many reasons for people to get into porn. And to some of them, it's a psychological need. That's how they feel better. And I think it's good that, for instance, here it's legal, right? So you can do it, and you're not breaking any laws. And to some people, it really helps to overcome the issues of the past. Like I said, the bad experiences. It's a small percentage of people, and it's not always the step you need to take to actually help yourself. But I saw those people who actually got rid of this terrible psychological damage they had just because they entered this industry. Plus, porn always welcomes all kinds of weirdos, all kinds of people like, outsiders, just crazy, nymphomaniac, just not like people who would be so odd in a normal, like in a room of normal, typical, standard people. They would seem like, what the fuck is that?
Yes, I know.
But when they enter like porn industry, it's cool. Like you won't be judged. So
Yes.
there's really a lot of space for any kind of freedom. Like you won't find people who are so open-minded, who will not judge whatever this is. There's like really no judgment. I think that's great because you can't see that too often. You just can't.
Okay. Can you? You've met many people in the industry. You
Okay.
know many people. If you can, who are the most genuine and nicest people you know in the industry? Can you talk about that? Are there any
Well-
names you can name that are really genuinely nice and amazing people?
Well, like I said before, I cannot mention any
Okay.
names. But yes, there are really nice people. Like on the production side, there are just producers and agents and, all kinds of people who are just, they're smart, they're kind, they treat performers extremely well, they're professional. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of people I actually maintain close relations with. I like them. And like if you see them somewhere, you would never guess that what they do is connected to porn or anything sexual, just because they have those really great vibes around them. So yeah, there are really nice people, but there are also people who are like harsh and not really professional. They don't know what kind of subordination takes place, and they just can't. But they don't really stay long in the industry.
That's why I kind of wanted to have this conversation. I wanted to see the different points of view. I wanted to see not only what's fake, what's fake is an obvious question that someone would ask about the industry, but I wanted to see what is the beautiful thing, what's amazing about the industry, how people actually are, how they succeed, and are there really cool and nice people. That's really why I wanted to have this chat. I wanted to see the good side of the...
They're just people. They are people like everywhere else. Just because they are in porn, it doesn't mean that they're too different from any other person. There are nice people, there are pitchy people, there are creepy people, all kinds of people. you can't just say like, yeah, okay, so all people in porn are nice, or yes, they all are bad.
Of course, those are just stereotypes that people apply to society and to anyone outside their kind of general understanding of a normal person,
They
and
are
that's
just
just,
people
yeah,
with all the features of a personality.
amazing. Well, this has been very interesting.
I'm glad.
Anything else you would like to tell the world about the industry, or
Oh boy. Yes, female talents, if you want to apply, please don't text me after 10. I know you think it's fine, and I will like reach back to you in the morning, but just don't do that, not after 10. That's all I want to say.
okay, if any female talent wants to apply, send me an email
Yeah.
and I'll set you up. If you're interesting enough, I'll test drive you.
Cool.
And listen, seriously, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a thing that happened accidentally out of the blue, but I'm really glad it did. So thank you very much.
Thank you too. I'm also really happy that I can actually provide some real infos on the topic.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. And if you did like it, and if you're listening to this on YouTube, then please give this video a thumbs up. Or if you're listening to this on iTunes or any other podcast platform, then please leave this podcast a 5-star review. It helps me reach more guys, and it helps me help more guys to improve their dating life and learn to meet girls they really like. And if you decide that you want to go on a day game coaching trip with me to Budapest, then either send me an email and sign up for coaching, or sign up for the Skype coaching call to decide whether it is the right thing to do. That's it for today. Bye guys.